Good.
I'm ready.
Just too sweet.
Welcome to yet another episode of Attention Wrestling Disorder, episode number 31. And we got a good one today, got a special guest. But first, as always, this is RJ Show, the whole show, nothing but the damn show, or however I say it.
I am your counterbalance, Chuck.
And I am the Hot Rod 521.
What he means to say is the only person alive to watch WWE's main event, Hot Rod.
521. Also, the only person in the world to be watching NXT Level Up.
Oh
Who watches that nonsense?
Oh my God, a couple of degenerates, both of you.
Nah.
We have a special guest today joining us. Someone I met while doing my TikToking, because there's a whole wrestling community on TikTok. I found this dude who just is like us, obsessed with wrestling. Wrecked by Wrestling, how the hell are you?
What's good, people? How are y'all doing today? I am great.
Oh,
Good. We have a lot to talk about.
yes, we do.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Because because I love the content you put on TikTok, and I thought it'd be great to just have you put your 2 cents into what we do.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate being asked to come on, man. I don't get asked to come on to podcasts, so it's pretty cool.
What is your involvement? Are you just like a dude who's obsessed with wrestling? Do you have any involvement in the business at all, or?
I briefly trained in my early 20s, but briefly, and I've known indie guys, but I have no involvement in the business besides being an absolute utter nerdball of a fan.
Same.
You came to the right place then.
Yeah. You're with your own kind here.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
You're with your own kind, homie.
How do you want to
Cheers, my
start?
friend.
Should we go into last night? Because I know all 4 of us are caught up with last night.
Are we though? No, I'm kidding. I don't.
Oh man, last night was so good. I had to watch it this morning, but last night was so good.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Should we start with the announcement you just made, or should we get into that in a little bit? Because that kind of has to do with last night.
We could.
Okay, so Rod, you start us off because you gave us the big news. Apparently, there's big news. So,
all right. So apparently, big news out of the AEW ROH camp from last night is the now former Ring of Honor World Champion Jonathan Gresham. He apparently cursed out Tony Khan and asked to be released from his contract.
Oh Lord.
oh geez, and I like Jonathan Gresham too.
And apparently this happened before the title match. So it wasn't like he lost the match and then this happened. This happened before the title match.
Probably why the title match ended the way it
So
did.
maybe that's why he lost. Who knows? But
I mean, it's a shame too because we actually watched the match. It wasn't a bad match, but at the same time, you could tell they made Gresham look like shit in that match.
Yeah.
They made Gresham look like shit in that match. It was a shame too because Gresham's actually one of my favorite wrestlers going right now, and it's a shame that this is what he's been succumbed to.
And you can tell that he didn't seem into it.
What happened?
He didn't seem into the match. He just
as he normally is,
yeah, he was just kind of there.
And then this whole Prince Nana situation, like that confused the hell out of me too. Like all of a sudden, Nana buys Tully Blanchard Enterprises.
Yeah, that I don't understand why. A, they did it that way. B, he looked like a total face in the ring. C, the guy, I don't know his name. You guys are more familiar than I am with this character, but he just kind of showed up and did nothing. Didn't even try to interfere in the match.
Prince Nana.
Well, I mean, also Regal was out there, so if he would have, him and Regal would have laid his ass out.
So why not show that? That would have been great.
Storytelling, Rod. Come on. Storytelling 101, kids.
That's my biggest complaint about AEW and what it seems they're doing with like ROH is their storytelling lacks a little bit.
You know what's funny? The issue I had with last night, that was a major issue. Like I enjoyed the pay-per-view. I thought it was great. A lot of good matches. It was good quality. The only thing I didn't like, because I get where it's going, but I still there's that loyalist Ring of Honor fan in me. I
Yeah.
felt like it was completely AEW produced, so it just looks like an AEW B show.
Yeah, it was an AEW like.
Which it's going to become either way.
Although they did have the clock finally for the Ring of Honor Pure match, which they never showed when they did the Pure matches in AEW.
Yeah,
They
that's
never
true.
showed the clock or the scoreboard for the rope breaks. So I was happy to see that.
That was cool. That
That was good. I'm glad they did that.
cool to see. That
glad
was a good match too.
That was.
Yeah.
I actually
match.
like the pure title matches.
Let me just put in quickly my 2 cents on what I didn't like about the pay-per-view. Give me one second.
Oh boy! Here we go.
This is a treat for you. You'll like this.
Here we
Welcome
go.
to the Ring of Honor. I am Ricka Nobody.
Here we go. Here we go.
God, I can't stand him.
Yeah, you know what's upsetting about that too? Is you gotta listen to that schmuck on freaking New Japan Strong now too. Ugh.
Oh, you know. Oh,
You know what's
God.
but in his defense, I gotta say on the English end of New Japan commentary, Kevin Kelly's almost as bad as Ian Riccaboni.
Yeah, I've noticed that even like before you picking that up, that sometimes he just gets a little like he's a little too. Oh my God, this is bad. You're
He's
bad.
too repetitive.
Calm
He's too
down.
repetitive. I swear at everything. If I have to hear him go on and on about how all the Bullet Club chose Jay White over Tama Tonga one more time, I'm gonna like throw my fire sticker into my TV because he doesn't know how to tell
Oh my
long-term stories.
God!
He can't tell long-term stories. Like we know it's a long-term story, and we all know that the payoff, if it makes sense, would be eventually to have Tama Tonga and Jay White for the title.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
the only way that payoff would make sense if they're going that way. But Kevin Kelly doesn't want to tell that story.
To kind of get back on track, because I know Rex not used to our
You're good.
Dynamic.
You're
Our
good. You're good.
dynamic.
I'll jump in when I can. It's no big deal. You don't have to do anything special for me.
We have a lot of ADD between the three of us. Like that's why we are who we are.
We have to explain.
We jump in and out of topics like congruently. We'll work our way back into them, but
I will
I
say this though. I'm hoping that at some point they do find if it's not a TV deal, maybe like a streaming option for where you could just watch Ring of Honor and Ring of Honor only.
Why can't they just keep Honor Club the way it was?
I know they're working on a TV deal of some sort for them, but because it's a different entity technically than AEW, it's just under the same umbrella.
Right.
It's getting a little more difficult for them to get a TV deal than it was for them to get the AEW.
I'm hoping I'm really hoping they get that HBO Max deal. That'd be big for Ring of Honor.
I think they'd benefit bigger for putting it on Discovery Plus, honestly.
Oh wow. I didn't even know that was an option. Okay.
I have to get that. Better, Rod, you got it. I'll just use your password. No, I'm kidding.
Discovery Plus has a huge selection of users and product and everything. I get Discovery Plus over HBO Max.
An option.
There's more for me to watch on there, so I'd be more interested in being on there than HBO Max, honestly.
Right.
So go back. We were talking about the pure match. I thought that was done well.
I can't hear anybody.
With the they were keeping up with the
Hello.
with the format of pure, even with the judges.
Yeah, I just felt it weird though that only one rope break was used the whole match between the two competitors.
Yeah, but again, it was a good match. Maybe they didn't need the rope breaks.
They usually do three. Most of those pure matches that I've watched, all three rope breaks for both competitors are usually used.
Right.
So
technical difficulties will get them back in.
So with the since the pure title got brought back, I've only seen 2 draws. I know one of them was Jay Lethal and LSG, and went to the judges. And Kenny King and Josh Woods went to the judges.
Hey, remember the time Josh Woods was actually like a credible wrestler?
Is he back? Because I love his.
I'm
video.
assuming he is. I mean, he was one of the judges. So I'm assuming he is.
Yeah, well, he's been jobbing out on Dark lately. He hasn't won.
Yeah, no,
No, he won his last match.
Right.
I don't remember. I feel like he's lost like every match I've seen him do in AEW.
No, he's won his last couple of Dark matches, actually.
Josh the Jobber Woods.
Speaking of jobbers, how about Blake Christensen? But is Wreck back?
Not yet. I'm gonna.
But yeah, he's like, forget about these guys.
Nah, I think he's trying to get back in. He said he was cutting out, and then we were going.
Yeah, I
And then
think
he
I heard him
cut
say
out.
he couldn't hear no one.
He cut
He's
out.
like-
So
Oh, well, you know what? I'll give that jackass credit, the announcer guy, Rick, nobody, that he only said his line once. I think Tony Khan sat him down and said, stop saying Code of Honor adhered to a million times. It's annoying.
but that's what Ring of Honor was founded on. Code of Honor adhered to.
Because it was, but that's besides the point.
Ugh.
We got him back.
Okay.
Let him connect.
We had the great match. I mean,
He's good.
I'm back.
Excellent.
he's back.
We
We were just kind of going over like the pure match and talking about like how there have been only 2 draws since the pure.
Yeah, 2 times that they've had to go to the judges since the title's been back.
Yeah. I love the pure title. I love the concept of the pure title. I love the matches. Like, it's fun for me to watch that. Like, I'm a death match guy too. So being like, I love the pure championship. That's kind of outside my realm. But I love it. I love the concept of it.
No, it's a great concept. I like that. For like wrestling fans, like people who like wrestling matches, it's like the way to watch wrestling.
Yep.
Like I feel like I've had this conversation a ton of times on here, and I've had this conversation with tons of people. You have like the WWE fans who are like the entertainment fans, and you have like the AEW, New Japan, Ring of Honor fans who are more the wrestling fans.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a division within like fandoms, because like it's amazing to hear 2 different people talk about the same issue and have it from a completely opposite perspective.
Yeah.
And try to have hold that conversation based on your own perspective. It's pretty wild.
I'm that person that really watches it all. I will watch anything I can get my eyes on.
We're pretty much the same way.
Yeah.
And I try not to bash WWE or AEW, or just say things that I would like for them to do a little better. I want to be excited to watch wrestling like I was when I was younger.
Like WrestleMania 6, right?
That's my big thing.
Like WrestleMania 6.
And
my only issue with this T-shirt is there's no Hulk Hogan on it. That's my only gripe with this shirt.
I have to ask Rec this question because I know the answer, but you guys don't. And Rod may not like the answer.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, boy.
Who's your least favorite AEW wrestler, Rec?
We lose him again?
I've got absolutely nothing, guys.
Hang on. Nothing. Still off. Let me see if there's anything I can do. I don't know if it's just.
Is it maybe it's just his connection, unfortunately.
I don't know. We lost him again.
Let me know when you hear it.
We'll wait for him to come back.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna say we haven't had this many what's name since when we had Steve on with network wise.
Oh yeah, I forgot. When
that,
he
that
was
build up for nothing, Jay. You would Steve with that build up for nothing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
didn't we actually get to we actually get to have our little. We did have the.
We had a little discussion.
Yeah, problem was the way he was at the service was horrible. So.
I know that Wreck by Wrestling. I don't even know what to call the dude this, but I know Wreck by Wrestling usually is in the same setting when he does the TikTok, and there's never an issue when he does it that way.
It could, because it's a live stream. It's different than a Zoom. It could be anything.
Yeah,
it happens. It's a different realm. I'm like the most
Okay, I
seldom
think I'm back.
TikToker
I
in
don't
the
know what's
world.
going on.
I use it for music stuff. But
Welcome
I'm really
back.
the best. So, Jay, ask your question, Mr. RJ.
Oh, is he back?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
back. You good? Mr. Wreck is back.
All right, my wrestling's back. Okay, so I don't know where you cut up, but I was telling them that I had a question for you, and that Rod may not like the answer.
Oh
And,
Lord.
It's gonna make me laugh hysterically. So, Rect, who is your least favorite AEW wrestler?
I'm back. Okay. Who is my least favorite AEW wrestler?
I know
Yeah.
the answer.
Thunder Rosa.
Wait, say it again, because I don't know if everyone heard
Thunder Rosa.
you.
Okay, I was not expecting that answer. Wow.
See, I knew. I told you.
I have no reason behind it either. Like, I respect what she does in the ring. Like, I get it. I can't get behind her. I can't get behind her at all. I just don't enjoy seeing her on my TV.
All right, that's understandable. I thought you was going to say somebody else.
Oh, somebody that RJ showed us likes Hot Rod.
Oh God.
Who would that be?
Oh
Rio.
yeah, Rio. Ugh.
God.
I don't really consider her part of the roster anymore.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
I think she might be like doing more like stuff with Japan, like what Sheeta's doing,
Yeah.
which is
Like,
fine.
maybe
You know,
she's still
at least
on the
at
roster,
least their
but-
Japan expansion is doing a lot better than WWE's did. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, here's hoping that with the most recent news coming out of WWE that things are going to change a little bit.
Well,
Let's
I
hope.
mean,
No, hope so.
Yeah, Vince is
I mean,
retired.
well,
Hell is
unless-
frozen over, gents.
I mean, unless Stephanie
Vince is
loses that
retired.
MLW lawsuit, she still has out against her.
No.
What is this MLW lawsuit?
No, all right. So basically, MLW was about to get like a deal, which was going to get them on how do you say it, Tubi, whatever.
Tubi
And-
TV. Yeah.
Yeah,
Tubi.
thank you. Okay, and since Fox owns Tubi TV, apparently Stephanie had Fox block that deal, so MLW couldn't get on it. So MLW is suing them for
Yeah. And Court is not a happy camper about it.
And apparently,
Well,
this
WWE
and
right.
apparently, there's rumors is that that's the main reason why Stephanie stepped down in the first place was because of that. So if she winds up losing that lawsuit, you could wind up seeing Nick Khan as the full CEO.
And you guys ready
and then
for
if that's
4-hour
the
Monday
case-
Night Raws?
Yeah, and one night 12-hour WrestleManias.
And
I will quit watching
if Nick-
WWE if that's the case. I
if
don't have the
Nick Khan
attention span for that.
if Nick Khan takes over, it's getting sold.
Disney was the rumored party.
Probably. And Nick Khan
Which
just sent a
means,
shit ton of money to the rest of his life.
which means that's the case. They ain't staying TV 14, that's for sure.
I've said it in my lives, but I would like to see The Rock be the one to buy WWE though.
That'd be amazing.
And you also
Like-
mentioned that they have that Nick Khan and The Rock have a childhood connection. You did
Yep,
say
Yeah.
Yep. They grew up together. They've been friends for a long time. I would love to see The Rock buy WWE.
That'd be pretty cool. It would be different.
At least it'd be in wrestling hands.
I mean, and
And that'd be
hopefully
important.
now, like, we can fix NXT, no more 3-4 hour freaking meetings with the female talents telling them they need to dress like Mandy Rose to get pushes.
Yeah.
All right, Bruce Pritchard, get the fuck out.
Yeah, I heard he's on his way out. Dunn's on his way out.
I
Laurinaitis
just
is
said-
gone.
Because their support retired. The only
Yep.
person that gave them any support is no longer with the company, and now that his sayers are gone,
And
What
my
good are
theory
they?
with the Brock, and I really do believe Brock left on Friday. I 100% believe he left.
I'm going to say this right now. I believe he's doing SummerSlam because, Brock will never turn down a big payoff because he's all
And
about the money.
that'll be the last
And then-
time we see him on WWE.
Yes, exactly. I was just about to
Brock's
say
just bitter because he knows that Brock Lesnar's the GOAT and deserves those payoffs.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
he's right. He's Brock Lesnar's #1 fan, Rod.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Like, we won't see Brock again on WWE TV until either Vince McMahon passes away or they induct him into the Hall of Fame.
Well, I guess we'll see. Part of me feels like we were still
That's-
worked, but I guess we'll see based on the lieu of everything.
Like, there were so many people confirmed that he left that I have to believe that he did leave.
Because I'm telling you right now, if you with Vince going, if you think he's just getting these this contract where he gets to sit at home and do whatever he wants and show up whenever he wants to, that's not happening anymore. Now that Vince going, that is not happening anymore.
I prescribe to like a regular news feed, like a regular news app, and Brock walking out made it to that app.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he definitely walked out. Like,
I'm sure they convinced him to come back and do his spot, but I can see it.
And then do SummerSlam, because he ain't gonna turn down a big payoff like that. But he's done it.
And I'm pretty sure he showed up about 5 minutes before he had to be out to that ring.
I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised.
But what he did was unprofessional. But like Sasha and Naomi was unprofessional other people.
Yeah, I could care less. Like, if they were unhappy with their job, more power, walk out. I don't care.
But I agree. Like, if you're unhappy,
they walked out because why they unprofessional? Why? Because they actually were standing up for a division the company could give two shits about.
They're sitting there fighting for the women's tag division, and then
exactly.
They're wanting them to go over each other for solo matches. And I'm just like,
it makes no sense. There's no logic in that book. I get why they left.
And then
because it devalues both of them. You're trying to build up. You're trying to value yourselves as a team. Finally, that's what they want. You're finally okay with it. And then they are like, no, we're gonna have you go over each other because we need to put this over. And it's just like, where's the value in the title?
Right. And then what Cora J did on Tuesday was probably symbiote of what the WWE actually thinks about women's tag team wrestling, which she did on Tuesday.
That's exactly what I said too. I was like, this is exactly what WWE thinks their women's tag team division. The only way that makes sense is if they bring back the main women's championship, tag team championship, the way it was originally defended, but between SmackDown, Raw, and NXT. That's the only way it makes sense.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I don't see that happening because you haven't heard nothing about that tournament since the walkout.
But if Stephanie's in charge, we might get better booking for the women's division.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Might come back. Evolution might come back.
I would love an Evolution pay-per-view. I would love that.
Go for another one. That was a good pay-per-view, and I think
it should have been. It should have been a yearly pay-per-view.
It should still be.
Yeah.
They have the talent there.
I'm surprised like freaking Empowered is not going on again, especially with NWA 74 being a 2-day event.
And open Empowered. The doors up in WWE should open their doors the way Empowered did, and let women from other.
We got lucky with the whole Mickey James thing. Let's just be honest. We got lucky with the Mickey James showing up at the Rumble.
Because with Triple H in charge, you may be able to get that. But the thing is that WWE under Vince's umbrella when he was there, you weren't going to get that. Vince is I want to keep my company contained. It's my baby, blah, blah, blah,
Nothing else exists, blah, blah, blah.
None of these other companies are competition.
Exactly. Look at debuting in his first ever match, the Royal Rumble, AJ Styles. You guys know who he is, but he's never wrestled before. Like, the WWE way of thinking when it comes to stuff like that is mind-numbing.
And the way he crapped on NXT UK, like when freaking Piper Niven made her debut on the main roster. Oh, who's this? Like, we trying to say no one watches NXT UK, those under your umbrella?
Yeah, it's crazy.
They don't, because that's the problem. They don't value anything.
JD McDonough? Really?
Axiom.
Who was Axiom?
A-Kid.
Oh my God, that was awful.
Terrible.
Because I saw that, but I didn't recognize who, was under the mask. And I knew A-Kid was supposed to transition over there.
Yep. A-Kid is Axiom.
Hopefully that's going to change.
Yeah, well, they don't value NXT freaking UK. It's a shame too because it's better than regular NXT.
Tell that to Bart.
And
better.
the NXT UK is probably the best roster in WWE right now.
I would agree with that. I've been saying that for like 3 years.
The Coffee Brothers are like a big part of that.
Mark's now the Heritage Cup champion now.
I heard what's his face is the new champion, Tyler Bates.
Yep.
Well, I guess We spoiled it, but yeah, he is. Dragunov got injured, had to relinquish the title.
Oh, that didn't happen on TV yet?
No, he's fighting.
Someone-
He's fighting Wolfgang on Thursday for the championship.
Someone brought it up. I thought it already happened.
Yeah, no, it hasn't aired yet.
Spoiler alert.
Whoops.
Rod's favorite
Yeah, it's been brought
spoilers.
up. It's been brought up on my lives as well.
That's
So.
probably where I heard that. Because I do go into.
Yeah, he's injured. He got injured. He had to relinquish the title. So that's. And then they had a tournament.
Won't spoil the what else happens in that match, but.
Chuck, are we still going? I just got a weird message from the meeting thing.
Yeah, we're still good. I took care of it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Basically, I had to resubscribe because my credit card changed, so my annual deal was up, and I had to resubscribe. Because otherwise, it would have cut us short. So we're good.
Okay.
You know, you got to fund the thing to keep it going.
Yeah.
The only money that gets invested into this.
I just find it a bit. It's fun, but it's weird having Briggs and Jensen, the NXT UK tag champions.
It's different, but if they get to represent UK and NXT, it'll bring it'll bring viewership to both.
Well, now that like the world is a little bit more open, you're able to do that again. Like for like 2 years, you couldn't do that at all.
Nope.
That's why a lot of like NXT UK talent stopped being there because they couldn't get there, and that's what kind of hurt the NXT UK brand there during like the height of the pandemic.
Yeah, they had to stop for a while.
That's why New Japan Strong really started, was because half of New Japan's roster that are gaijins are in the States, and they all live in the States, so they had them work here. And now they're starting to bring them back over as, you know, it's safer and they're needed. You think that before this, Tom Lawler was going to go to Japan to wrestle? Probably not.
No. Especially as often as New Japan would be getting hit with COVID.
What do they? I mean, they would have to unify the open weight, never open weight title if Lawler was going to Japan. They would, because you have whoever's holding the never open weight over there.
Well, Ross is the champion now.
Juice, right? Yeah.
No, Fred Roser.
He's the strong weight. He's the open strong weight champion.
Oh, okay.
He's the strong open weight. Who is the open weight? I'm losing my mind.
Isn't it Carl Anderson?
It might. I think so. I think it is Carl Anderson.
Juice Robinson.
No, he was the U.S. champion. Then he got energy, dropped it, so it was like.
But he just didn't want to give up the title. So technically, he's not the champion with the championship, and Ospreay is the champion without the championship.
Yeah.
So eventually, they're going to have the Ospreay Robinson match, and whoever wins that will be the U.S. champion. Even though I hate to say it, Ospreay would probably win that match because they have more investment in Ospreay than they do in Robinson. Even though Robinson in the Bullet Club has been very good.
I agree.
What do you guys think of like Bullet Club spin-offs on like? Well, Chuck has a lot to say about this.
Oh boy. Impact. What's your question? What's your
What do you think, like the fact that the Bullet Club is expanding past New Japan, kind of like NWO did with New Japan back in.
Well, they've been doing that for years. It started back when it started in 2013. That was when they were really working heavy with Ring of Honor. So for the longest, you had the Ring of Honor branch, you had the New Japan branch, and when Global Force was around, half those guys were working there. So they were all there when Devitt was doing Bullet Club. He was wrestling in Ireland with Bullet Club. So it's been like a thing. It's just, I'm okay with it. My only thing is, like, just keep your stories consistent. And for the most part, they're pretty good with that. So I really can't complain about it. Even them being an Impact doesn't bother me. I don't like Impact. I'm strong about that. It's just not for me. I take power naps when I
here we go.
need to for Impact. When I need to sleep, I put Impact on.
Because you're a hater. Because you're a hater.
Look. Impact has the best women's division in professional wrestling right now.
Thank you.
Outside of Shimmer, but the best women's division in American professional wrestling.
After last night, I might have to slightly disagree. because that
AEW
women
does not have a better women's division than WWE or Impact. Even I'll say that I don't like Impact.
women's match was amazing.
That match
It
was
was,
awesome, but again, look at the overall company of AEW. Like they've upped it, but there was a time, and even still, the women's division is the weakest point of AEW. Even still,
Hands down.
believe it, agree with me or don't, but like I'm not saying it's bad anymore, but I'm saying compared to the rest of it, it's their worst aspect of their company.
And we're not saying it in a bad way, as in like the women's division is bad. It's just like if you
WWE has a better women's division than AEW does.
AEW is the women's division right now.
WWE actually has.
The way Impact books their women's division and the wrestlers that are in the division, it is the best women's division in wrestling. Like it is
because Impact trusts their female. They didn't wait like a whole decade to put them like in a cage.
WWE has a hell of a women's roster. They're just not figuring out how to use them properly right now.
Correct. Yeah.
They're too stuck on Ronda Rousey being there.
Yep.
The newest
and the 4 horsewomen.
Impact. The Vexed, which is Chelsea Green and Peraza, real life friends, so it works.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I will say, here's where Impact was smart. Putting the belt on Tessa Blanchard, even though she had her issues or whatever, as a business and as being proactive and being progressive, that was actually a good move at the time. Putting that belt on Tessa, that was groundbreaking for wrestling. You think WWE would ever do that? Hell no. You think AEW would do that? Hell no.
No.
So in that respect, I can give AEW their respect. I know Tessa Blanchard acted a fool within that time, but
she was
like she acted a fool within that time, but again, that was the smart move at the time. I thought.
No, it was. It was just a shame that like the day she won the title was the day all those allegations and stuff came out.
WWE did do that, but with the Intercontinental title.
China.
Yes.
Jericho's going on the record saying that she was one of the worst people he's ever worked with.
Apparently, a lot of people hated on China, and it's a shame.
My problem with Chris Jericho saying that about China is that Chris Jericho, in the same breath, would get upset if somebody talked bad about another certain dead wrestler, whom I'm not going to name drop.
Yeah.
Right. You can name drop.
I know who you're talking about because if you name drop his name, some people will applaud it and others are going to cause a riot.
Yeah. But he'll get mad if anybody talks about him, but he can talk about China. Like it's just hypocritical to me. And I love Jericho. I think Jericho is one of the goats of professional wrestling.
Oh, agree.
I agree. I don't think anybody's arguing that.
But I think that he's just being hypocritical about that situation.
I think Jericho is at a point in his career where he's got to struggle opinions. I think that's ridiculous. But Jericho's also one of those guys where I like about him is, and I've always said this, my favorite thing about Jericho is that you can put him anywhere on the card, whether he's a good guy or a bad guy, babyface or a heel, and you're not going to question his credibility. Like one night, he could be your heel world champion, he loses the match, does a full face turn, comes out the next night, fights for the mid-card title, and you wouldn't say shit about it. You'd be like, okay, that's Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
And that's what wrestling lacks, are guys like that who can work anywhere on the card where you believe them.
And Jericho has reinvented himself so many times.
Exactly.
In so many different organizations. Like you look back at the best promo of WCW and what promo's up there for you? The 1,004 holds.
That shit was hilarious.
Oh my God.
Like you think of that instantly, like Chris Jericho's 1,004 holds.
And it's funny too, because
believe it or not, that was even my favorite thing he did. The time when he went to the Library of Congress, that had me crying.
That was funny.
He had an angle that he created based on promos that WCW didn't even get behind. It was him, with Goldberg, and that was all done by promos. And then
of course, because they weren't going to have some cruiserweight going up against Goldberg. So yeah,
and that's why he left the company. And you know what? That was WCW's loss.
Right.
That was the beginning of the end. Like if you really watch, but after Jericho left, things nosedived for WCW very quick. You don't realize it. Maybe it wasn't directly, but a lot of trends with WCW kind of nosedived after he left.
His return where he just didn't speak for a month.
That was amazing.
I thought that was excellent.
And he kind of had like a teary eye. Well, he looked like he was crying at one point, and he just like
So good.
yeah.
Well, Chris Jericho's the kind of guy, and he gets you eating out of the palm of his hands, whether he's a good guy or a bad guy. You're invested.
Anything he does has a purpose. Anything he does has a purpose.
I was at a WCW show back in the day, when I lived down in Florida and was younger. And I was front row, and Chris Jericho was in the ring, and I yelled, "You're my role model," and he pointed at me.
Awesome. Was this when he was whiny bitch Jericho?
It was when he was doing the "I'm your role model" gimmick in WCW.
Okay, so yeah.
Basically, the
That's
gimmick
also-
that both Bailey and Britt Baker took over years later.
Yeah.
Well,
That's also the
It's married
same.
wrestling though.
That's also the same WCW event where Conan told me to toss his salad.
That's all right. I remember going to a wrestling event when I was a kid. The 1996 Survivor Series, the night where I'm convinced I met Rod, he didn't know it yet.
Oh my
Oh
God.
God, I want to hear this again. This is
Oh,
great.
God. So I was like 10 years old. I was in like the 5th grade or whatever. My mom and my 2 uncles took me to see it at the Garden. And the row in front of me is a guy about 16-ish at the time, probably a teenager, 14, 15, 16 years old. And he's getting so bent out of shape about his wrestlers losing. Like, I thought this guy thought that wrestling was real. And I'm just like, what's wrong with this guy? And then I meet Rod, like, probably like a dozen years later after that. And it's like, did I meet you at Survivor Series 96?
Oh my God.
You're about 5 years older than me, Rod. So, you know.
My first event was in '92 in West Palm Beach, and I was front row, and I got licked by the Bushwhackers.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, funny. So I've also been licked by the Bushwhackers at a house show.
Hell
I
yeah!
went to a house show in Madison Square Garden, and Bret Hart gave me like a deathly stare because he lost the match against, it was a 6-man against the Mountie, and I don't know who he was tagging with, but he was tagging with Neidhart and someone else, and I went to put my hand down. He just looked at me like, I just lost the match, right? You know, I was like, damn, he got me.
You got by Brett.
No, I remember
One of my all-time favorites too.
first event I ever went to was the 91 SummerSlam.
Nice.
I legit thought, you know, like I was like the first wedding I actually ever went to, because I thought like legit at the time that I was like actual real wedding between Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth. I'm like, oh damn, I'm getting to go to a wrestling event and a wedding at the same time. This is great.
Little did you know they're already divorced in real life.
Yeah, I know. Well, I learned that, you know, like much later.
Again, Rod, you thought that John Cena proposing Nikki Bella in the ring was real at WrestleMania.
Okay, that actually was, but that's besides the point. Oh, that definitely was.
You don't think they proposed to he proposed to her like in private, like the night or two
Here
before
we
that?
go.
Come on.
Here we go.
Rod believed that John Cena really did disappear because of the Fiend also, so.
I really thought John Cena would never be back after the Firefly Funhouse match. I really thought they were going to keep him away.
No, I'm going to say this right now about my boy John Cena. Say what you want about him. Last year we had the Summer of Cena. At least Cena was actually doing house shows and stuff. You think you're going to get Brock Lesnar doing a house show that's not at Madison Square Garden? Good luck with that.
It's specifically in Brock's contract that he doesn't work house shows.
It is sad. Like, who are you to get that? If John Cena could come back to do house shows, anybody should be able to do house shows.
You know what's funny about that?
You do whatever you want in your contract. Come on.
Here's what's funny about that. When I saw Brock Lesnar at a house show beat Jeff Hardy at a house show at Nassau Coliseum.
And when was this?
Yeah, it was what, 2002 to that, you
know. Exactly. My point.
Yeah, he was a young man. He was the bee's knees, you know. That's what happens. You go to MMA, you become the bee's
Good luck
knees.
getting him at a house show now. Good luck with that. That's not at Madison Square Garden. Good luck with that.
You're right.
Look, you ain't gonna get Brock Lesnar or anything anymore.
Yeah, I really don't think he's going to be back after SummerSlam.
I hope not either.
Same.
Rod wants him gone. Rod loves Brock Lesnar. He's like crying in his sleep.
Yeah, okay.
He worships the ground Brock walks on.
Right, I'm telling you right now, They lie a lot, so get ready.
I don't
All
lie.
right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay.
What? Because I don't think John Cena is the GOAT. I don't think that Impact's good. That makes me a liar.
Yeah, no. Those statements make you a hater. You saying I like Lesnar makes you a liar.
You're
Wrestling's
going to be
great.
a hypocrite now that Kushida's on Impact, Chuck. One of your
So
favorites.
I'll watch him when he's in Japan. Who cares? I'll watch him when he's in Japan. It's fine. It's all right. Here's the problem with American companies. They don't know how to market Japanese wrestlers anyway. It's terrible. It's a shame.
It is, and that's across the board with all of them.
It's a crime. The way Nakamura gets utilized in WWE is a fucking crime. It's a travesty. This guy is a legend in Japan. This guy would go back to New Japan. He would get a standing ovation. He would get the fucking carpet rolled out for him in WWE. He's a fucking joke guy who's teaming with Rick Boogs up until his injury.
Yeah, that injury was rough too.
Yeah,
I know.
that was horrible. Especially have that happen at WrestleMania too.
Ooh. He had his WrestleMania moment, I guess.
Yeah, and not the one exactly he wanted.
He is never gonna forget that WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody.
Oh,
Yeah,
neither
exactly.
will I. Neither will I.
And it's sad too because another thing WWE needs to stop doing is like rewarded bad behavior. That's another thing they need to stop doing.
Who's getting rewarded for bad behavior?
The Usos.
Oh,
Dude.
please.
The dude freaking got a D-Weed and is now, and like days later he becomes the tag champion and is now like the longest reigning tag champion almost like the last like 20
Because
years.
he's got family connections, Rod.
And
Get
I
some
don't
family
shit.
connections. You'll be a
I
champ
mean,
too.
shit.
What about Naomi, though, who walked out with Banks? She hasn't been on TV since, so it doesn't go for everyone, and she's married to
But
the
here's the
family.
kicker. They act like Sasha Banks is gone. They don't act like Naomi's gone.
Yeah.
They even on Peacock on the character avatars, they removed Sasha Banks.
They did. She ain't come back.
My girlfriend was using Sasha Banks as her thing on my Peacock account. She had to change it because Sasha Banks is gone. She doesn't even watch wrestling. It's just like Sasha Banks.
Yep.
She was like all upset that she had to change it. I'm like, yeah, I think she's leaving WWE for good. Like, that's
Yeah, I think she's gone.
If they don't release her, her lawyers are working to get her released. So one way or the other,
She's gonna be either way. No. Sasha Banks.
Yeah, I don't blame her.
One too many times. She's. But I do think with going back to, and here's where we come full circle. Going back to Vince retiring, Triple H being in charge, and Stephanie coming back in play, you might see some big changes there. You might see them work out a deal where they accommodate Naomi and Sasha Banks with time. You never know. That's how crazy wrestling is. Like Vince McMahon has wronged so many talent, and then they've wronged him, and he's brought them back, and they've buried the hatchet, and they've been fine. They've done good business. They made good money. It happens. It's happened on and off for
50 years.
40 years, yeah. 40-something years.
We'll see Killer Cross back because of that. I think that could happen.
Is he signed somewhere already though? Like is he signed like New Japan or something?
I don't know if he's technically signed to New Japan. I know he's been appearing in it a little bit, but I don't know if he's technically signed to it.
And I know he may or may not be signed with MLW. I'm not sure, but I know he's got.
I heard he was
appearing
doing
there
stuff.
too.
I heard he was doing stuff with Control Your Narrative, but I may have misheard that.
I think
I
I saw stuff with
like
that. No, I think there's been like videos of it.
Tony Devin did too, and he was there last night.
That freaking promotion at the AOP, yeah, that promotion is done before he even got started.
Yep. They're getting sued for that.
I don't blame him.
Wait, sued for what? What did I miss?
AOP had a event and promotion that was started in the UK, and they abruptly canceled the show like the day before the show.
Stupid.
Damn.
But yeah, they're still trying to promote like the what's name, and a lot of the talent's already pulled out of it.
Yeah.
And we're in a weird time because there's a lot of talent, a lot of wrestling going on. I feel like there's now a point where it's gonna like cap itself, where it's like, all right, it's great that there's plenty of companies for wrestlers to go to, but I feel like some of these wrestlers who are starting to create companies like Control Your Narrative, I don't see that going anywhere.
No, I mean I haven't heard
That's
nothing
gonna
about
fall
that
flat
in
on its
forever.
face, same way AOP Stink fell flat on its
Have you
face.
seen the rules for Control Your Narrative? Those rules
No, because I don't care.
It's stupid.
I don't
it's like
care.
Fight Club. It's
Like,
like
Poor Braun Strowman. He threw his career away for
I am not a Braun Strowman fan. At all.
Well, you can say that's the best thing that Goldberg's done in this decade was push Roman over. That's something Lesnar never did.
I absolutely.
I was okay with Strowman, but here was my take on Strowman. Like, I liked Strowman enough, but the problem with Strowman is that you hit a point with him where it's like, what were you going to do with him? You had him smash over every heel and baby face on both rosters. It's just like, what do you do after that? It's kind of like
they ruined a push with him, and they had a really good push, and then all of a sudden they just dropped it. And as much as I don't like him, it was a good push.
It was a great push, and then, but also
and
then
then
they tried to bring it back in, and they tried to redo that push, and it wasn't the same the second time.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where he's a big menacing guy, but the problem with big menacing guys like that is after a while, it's like, okay, no one cares anymore. Okay, you're big and scary. Okay, no one cares.
Like he can do control your narrative because I don't pay any attention to that either. Like I don't badmouth it. It doesn't exist to me.
I can't. I don't see where.
I think they've done like one show. I think, and that's been it so far.
Here's the thing, guys. There's a lot of wrestling, and I'm a busy guy. I can't keep up with all of it. I don't got time for that. Who's got time to watch all this wrestling? Unless you're Rod.
Yeah, true. I don't. I had to stop watching NWA.
Oh, okay. I'm a retired vet, so yeah, I got that time. I've earned that time.
I'm not saying you didn't earn the time. I'm just saying because you have that time, you watch more wrestling than all of us combined.
That's to be fair, I spent my day watching Death Before Dishonor and GCW and Circle 6 today.
How was GCW?
Is what? Because you did mention it.
I didn't watch. What was that?
Circle 6 is what?
Circle 6 is Atticus Coger's promotion that he created after he left GCW.
Okay. And where was this, on Fight?
No, title match network.
Speaking of Fight,
like
anybody watch Terminus 3?
No, I didn't watch Terminus 3. Terminus.
I ordered it. I just haven't had a chance to watch it. I heard it was good though. The first two were amazing.
Is that American wrestling?
Yeah, it's Gresham's promotion.
Okay. Oh, Gresham? Oh.
Yeah.
He'll probably just stick to that after he asks us for his release, right? He'll go back there and win the champion. He'll be the Joe Jarrett of his own promotion.
Oh my God. Or he'll go to Impact, be with his wife.
Either or. Is his wife taller than him?
Oh my God. Like down
yeah,
over there.
She is actually, isn't she? The Impact Women's Champion.
I don't watch Impact. I don't know who the women's champion is right now.
Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, no, he's actually taller than her by like an inch. He's married to but he is married to the meatball. That woman is shaped like a meatball. She's literally like the physical size of Snooki. She's a Snooki of pro wrestling.
Oh, she's a lot more jacked. A lot more jacked.
I'm sure she would whoop Snooki's ass in a real fight.
Oh yeah.
With her Rick Astley theme song.
She kick all our asses. That's for damn sure.
Probably.
Oh yeah, she could take me.
I'm not a tough guy. I don't fight. I'm just a ball buster.
Pretty strong.
I fought when I was a kid. That's about it.
We all thought we were kids because kids get into fights.
Yeah.
You become an adult, you realize like it's stupid to fight. It's almost like, why am I trying to fight you? It's just stupid.
Getting punched in the face hurts, man. Stop doing that.
And when you get older, it's a different playing field.
Or you could be in your 40s trying to capture a dream you never got to capture in your early childhood and roll around a wrestling ring, hurting your back and your head. I did that.
That I commend you for trying. I wouldn't try at this point in my life. Like I'm trying to get in better shape, but I wouldn't try taking bumps and hits like that.
No.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do it at my age, not even remotely.
I was actually trained. I was in CCW. I gave it a shot because I wanted to get a crack at being a heel manager, and you have to go through the same training as anyone wrestling. So, and Gangrello's the head trainer over there, and yeah, I did it for maybe 2 weeks, and then I was just like, or 2 or 3 classes. Then I was just like, okay, I can't do this. It sucked, but I really want.
I'll book an ECW style match against somebody, and I'll just hit people in the head with blunt objects. And you know what it would do? It would just hurt them a lot, and then it would take no talent. I'd be like a hack of a wrestler anyway, right? I'm kidding.
Oh my
God. I like death matches.
Me too, but I'm just saying, like, but again, like, not that I'm saying they're not talented because there is a finesse to it, but like,
Yeah, you have to like, and they still do wrestle in the matches. It's not
that's what I'm
just
saying.
constantly hitting each other with light tubes and shit.
I'm just saying my skill set would be I could probably hit somebody over the head with a hard over the head with a blunt object. It would hurt a lot because I'm just hit them really hard, you know.
Yeah.
But that doesn't take talent. That just makes you a dick for hitting somebody in the head.
Some wrestling is required, though.
What'd you say?
Some wrestling is required, though.
Right. I can't take a bump.
You got to be able to fall correctly after getting smashed in the head with a light, with one of those light tubes.
That's why they tell you not to do it at home, even though everybody tries to do it at home.
And what about the cheese graters to the head? Ouch.
Jeez.
I like that.
It's not even the cheese graters anymore. It's the pizza cutters.
Yeah, that's even worse.
That's why I salute pro wrestlers. The stuff they put their bodies through for my entertainment. That's why I'm more than happy.
This is why I love wrestling, because it's the one thing I know I can't do. So I'm gonna be a fan of it, and appreciate everybody else who can do it.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why I love hockey. It's something I can't do, so let me appreciate those who can.
And that's why I spend my money on it.
Now, Rex, I have a question for you. What is it about now, TikTok being what TikTok is, I'm noticing that there's this sudden increase of people such as you and me who are like putting wrestling content together. It seems like there's a huge increase in wrestling content on that app.
Like, honestly, I started posting a month ago. It's been exactly a month since I've been posting. And I didn't know TikTok had a wrestling side. I ran into Luna Havoc one day and I was like, there's wrestling. And I started following other people and I got sucked into it. It is great to see more people coming out and posting content.
Who followed both of us? Actually, in your room, someone followed you and then me, but it was because he was in your room. Do you remember?
Was it Tesh?
Big Vito.
Big Vito? I love Big Vito, man. He's such a cool dude.
I met him once at an indie event when I was like 8, and he was the coolest dude on the planet.
Same. I met him like at a show through Vinny the Guido. He was freaking awesome.
Oh man, that's another guest we got to bring back. Vinny the Guido.
The Guido, yes.
He pops into my lives every once in a while just to say what's up.
Oh, Vito, yeah.
Yeah. But I with my new podcast that we're starting, me and my buddies are starting. I'm gonna try to get him on the show to talk about his time as the WCW Hardcore Champion.
You should ask him about the dress, if that was his idea or WWE's. I'm kidding.
He'll answer that.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll talk about it outwardly and be like, fine with
when
it.
Him and Johnny the Bull were the tag champs.
I actually like Johnny the Bull.
Well, our podcast is all going to be based around hardcore and death match and extreme style wrestling.
Oh, okay.
So
okay, gotcha.
Bring him in and talk about his hardcore title time. Yeah.
So you know what you need to do then? You got to keep us posted as you get that going so we can watch it and support it.
Yeah. RJ follows me on TikTok, and that's where I
think I followed you too. So I'll keep an eye.
Yeah,
I'm not as much of a TikTok user as others, but for other endeavors in my life, I'm trying to use it and work things in. So we'll see.
The network we're going through to do our podcast is starting to announce dates for first episodes and stuff, so we should know soon.
Got you. Okay.
Network, huh? Oh, is it like an all sports network or?
It's do you know Love Panda?
Maybe. I don't. No, I don't.
He's a bigger TikToker. He is starting a entertainment company where they're going to do podcasts and shows and stuff like that, and we're going to be under that umbrella of their company.
That's pretty cool.
That is awesome. Oh man, damn it! I had a thought and I lost it. It was, God damn it! It'll come to me later. Oh shit! But it had to do with what you were talking about with networks. And God damn it!
So, Rec, let me ask you this: what companies do you like officially watch, follow, or whatever? And there's the reason why I'm asking you this.
I watch AEW. I watch WWE, NXT. I watch Ring of Honor now that it's back on, or when I can. I love GCW. I was a WCW fan through and through back in the day. I watched ECW. Circle 6 is a big one with me because Atticus Cogar is my current favorite person in the world. I try to keep up on New Japan, but I don't as much as I should, and I can't get Impact on TV here, so I have to catch streams of it when I can. That's where I'm at.
That was my problem too. So like I found out they have like this like YouTube program that I pay like $4.99 for a month. You can watch it every Thursday on YouTube.
Nice.
And you chat with fans. The fans in there are freaking awesome too.
I just used Chuck's account. What?
But
It's fine.
the reason why I asked you
It's
is,
fine.
Just use Chuck's account.
and Chuck and Jerry know where I'm about to go with this. Are you on Facebook at all?
I am not.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Uh-oh.
I was going to ask you if you wanted
Recruit you,
to.
Rack.
Yeah, I was going to see because I
recruited.
co-own and compete in the fantasy wrestling league. That's why I was asking.
I used to e-fed back when I was younger.
Oh no, it's not like it's not E Federation. Like, have you ever played like fantasy football, fantasy baseball?
Yeah.
It's like that,
Yeah.
but with wrestling.
Yeah, no. Facebook got too toxic for me, so I got out of there. I don't.
Yeah,
The only social media I have is TikTok.
That's not a bad thing.
Nah, Facebook can get like that.
And I
Facebook's
keep
terrible. Don't use
and
Facebook.
I keep my TikTok strictly to wrestling side. I don't get involved in anything else on my TikTok. It's all wrestling.
Well, that's kind of how I started my TikTok with music.
Because I have TikTok friends that are not wrestling. So when I go live, and then you have some of the wrestling guys in with the non-wrestling guys, it's like, do I talk about wrestling? Do I not talk about wrestling?
It's what makes you happy on TikTok. Like personally, I just do mine for my music I'm trying to write.
Yeah.
Very gradual process, but when I think of stuff, I throw it on there and see people react to. Some people react, some people don't.
I might create one at some point.
We should
Like I said, I'm
start
strictly wrestling based. It's all I talk about. Lots of stuff. I have opinions about things. I do fantasy booking, stuff like that.
remember.
That's pretty cool though.
Straight shoot sports guys. I know one of them is on TikTok a lot and does
They're
live.
Tesh is in there.
Yeah.
Tesh, Steve jumps into my lives quite frequently.
Yeah,
I got shouted out on in there live the other day, so that was pretty cool.
I was in his live a few times, and he was like, "Hey, what's up, RJ?" And it's cool. Like, oh, okay, because this dude, I love watching the content where they always do guess the wrestler.
Yeah, we do that in my lives sometimes.
We did do that in your live.
That is pretty cool.
I know Night Killer, who was actually supposed to be on today as well, but he had something else going on. But I remember, I think it was you and myself and him doing a guess the wrestler thing, and there was someone else. I think All Wrestling was there too.
Probably.
Hey Chuck, remember when I used to do that with the themes?
Yes, on the Facebook. Yes, the themes. Yeah, if it had lyrics, you would give them the theme, or if it was instrumental, you would give hints about the wrestler.
Yeah, I give like 2 hints, and if the theme had lyrics, I give you a lyric to the theme and a hint about the wrestler.
Oh, I should try that. I should do a variant of that on TikTok where I take a wrestler theme and I play like 5 seconds of it, see if people get it.
That'd be pretty cool.
Because I've been seeing a lot of musicians. Because I know a lot of musicians on
Frankie
TikTok,
used to do that.
and they're all like, "Oh, can you name this tune?" If I give you like 10 seconds of the song, and I'll break it down to like 2, 3, and 5 seconds or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like that'd be cool. I should try that for humor, maybe.
I think you should.
If I decide I want to branch out on my TikTok, I originally made it strictly because I made a TikTok because my niece was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make a TikTok for you," because she was like 8 at the time. I'm like, "All right." So half of my TikToks are my niece dancing like silly songs, and then the rest of them are like me just like trying to promote music a little bit. But it's very gradual.
I think if you did that guess the tune thing, you'd take off on Wrestle Talk.
Yeah.
Probably. I probably do that with. I should do it with both wrestling and with like regular music.
Yeah, but
Maybe
with severe thunderstorm warning. Cool.
That's us. I was doing I was doing when I'm not like in the wrestling rooms, in the boxes and stuff. On Wednesdays, I would host an AEW watch party and just have people commentate with me about what's going on during the match.
We do a watch party for Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown, and most pay-per-views. I had electricity issues last night, so I had to jump out of Huskies Live.
We sort of did that like on our own, just for the three of us. We didn't do that on any platform last night.
We have a Facebook chat group. I
Messenger.
just video chatted them, and we all watched
Yeah.
it shortly for a while.
Because
Yeah,
we
we
couldn't think of doing that stuff too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, TikTok's been pretty fun since I started. It like the wrestling community there is really great. They're all pretty supportive. I've gotten like no hate besides some dude coming on my post being like, your hat doesn't fit.
Wow. You're like,
Yeah,
okay, they'd be like, all righty then.
But yeah, the wrestling community, they're knowledgeable. They know what's going on. So it's cool to see all these people, that are into this stuff. Because for me, I have trouble meeting people like in reality that are into wrestling, which is crazy because you watch wrestling and stadiums are packed, but at my day job, I'm the only wrestling fan. And in certain other parts of life, I'm the only wrestling fan, and it's hard to talk to my non-wrestling fan friends about this stuff, and
That's what really got me started posting on TikTok with wrestling stuff, is I didn't have anybody to talk to about wrestling. So I was like, let's see if I can talk to other people about wrestling. I gained 1,000 followers in 9 days.
Wow.
That's impressive, actually.
That really is.
Took me longer
Like
to do that.
9 days, I gained 1,000 followers. I did over 100 people a day, and it was nuts.
That's pretty cool, though.
That's why we did this, for the same reason, because only the three of us had, we would only have each other to really talk about wrestling. So that's why we set up this show.
Yeah.
And then just seeing, like, again, Rod doing his fantasy thing, and you and the other guys doing their constant wrestle lives. I'm just happy that this community exists.
And I have just friends who like wrestling, and I just gravitate. It's weird. I have weird friends because, like, I gravitate to people who are either musicians or love wrestling. And I don't have friends that are any outside of that. My only friends that are neither of those are ones that I've known since like grade school. Other than that, I don't even see them anymore because, I'm in my 30s now. Like, I don't see people anymore. I don't go out.
Yeah. I don't leave my house.
Who goes out anymore?
I still
now.
I try to, but it's
I mean, like, I just went to an NXT house show Friday.
I was going to a lot of indie wrestling shows for CCW and stuff. So, I mean, I'll probably go back to going to some indies again. I go to rock shows, but
I'm friendly with a few people who do indies, but like I'm never around to go to them. It's like every time they have them, it's like, oh, I have something. Either I have a gig of my own, or
that's the thing.
Or I'm going to a concert or something. It's always something.
I always have other plans when one of my buddies is like, hey, I'm wrestling at this event. You want to come? And I'm like, motherfucker, you need to tell me these things like days in advance.
And
the funny thing is, they tell me way in advance, but I still can't make because I already have something booked every time I get it up.
Yeah.
What the hell? Damn it.
He's upstate New York, so I know there's a lot of wrestling that goes on over there.
Yeah, we got a lot of wrestling that happens around here.
Where are you from?
Like upstate New York.
You're upstate New York. I have Long Island. Okay.
Well,
so there's still some dumb stuff down here, but like I never get to it. I'm always doing shit.
Yeah. Like I watched Brody Lee coming up.
Right, because he's from Rochester. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Brody. He was.
I cried. I
think we all did. We all cried. We did a tribute. One of our first episodes of this was a tribute to Brody Lee, and we all got a little teary-eyed. We're not going to hold you.
Yeah.
Like,
we all got a little teary-eyed discussing the episode. That was a very emotional episode to do.
I was the last person in the fantasy wrestling league to use him on my team, which was kind of special.
It was.
I was at the first Rochester show.
Wow.
And I had bought tickets when they originally went on sale, and it got postponed like 4 times because of COVID. So it was like
I remember that too, because like he was supposed to debut
he was supposed to debut at the Rochester show.
Because that show was supposed to happen, and then everything got shut down.
Yep.
Yeah. Like the last big show that happened before Rona was Elimination Chamber that year. That was like the last packed wrestling show that year that happened Was the Elimination
And-
Chamber.
And the Rochester show didn't get canceled until like a week beforehand. And then it was 2 years. So finally we got to it, and it was one of the best shows I've ever been to. I would recommend going to AEW shows to absolutely anybody. Those shows are
that's next on my bucket list. Now that I finally got an NXT show out the way,
I wish they were closer. I live like in the middle of Florida, so it's either go all the way to Jacksonville or go all the way to Miami. Well, Miami.
Yeah, I'm from Florida originally, so I know the problems.
I didn't even know that they had wrestling shows in West Palm Beach, and that's that's very close to me. I wish they would still do that.
Yeah, they used to do them at the
The only
auditorium.
person who's never lived in Florida, but my girlfriend has discussed wanting to move down to Florida because she used to live in Florida. She grew up there. So it's like I'm the opposite of everybody. Never been, but I might be eventually going down. We'll see.
I've been away from Florida for 20 plus years. I'm not going back.
You've been in upstate for what, 20 years?
Yeah.
I've been in Long Island for 30 plus years and somehow made it down to Florida.
Shit, no.
For 10 years.
I've been in upstate for 25 years, almost 30.
Damn.
20. I've lived in this
Lord.
house for about 25 years.
That's a long time.
When I was going
Man.
into the 6th grade.
Getting old is stupid.
I agree.
43 sucks. Being 43 sucks. Too many health issues.
I understand.
I'll be 36 next month. We'll see where that takes me.
I'm gonna lie, I'm pretty fortunate. 40 years old, and despite like 3 tours, like relatively healthy.
Oh man, I wish I would have been around for your 40th birthday, Rod. Because you know what we would have done? We would have went to B-Dubs.
Oh,
and they would have wished you a happy 60th birthday.
Degenerate.
I thought we already wished him a happy 80th birthday.
Oh yeah, we did. That's right. On here.
Right here, yeah. Rod's birthday.
Show. We did a broad birthday show. We wished him 80th birthday.
Because you guys are a couple of degenerates.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Rod, you're just upset because you know my wrestling taste is more intelligible.
No, but okay.
Well, since I don't know if you have a little bit more time to stick around, let's talk about SummerSlam, which is
let's do that. Let me actually look at the card for that because I've been I'll be honest, I'm the first to admit that I've been the most lax about wrestling that I have been in like a couple of years right now, just because I've been so busy with other things. So I've been like watching everything, but like not as closely as I normally do.
So far, every title that's not named the IC or 24/7 titles on the line.
Oh really? Oh,
why the hell is the Intercontinental?
They're never going to defend the Intercontinental title. It's not a real title. I'm now convinced it's like a myth, the Intercontinental title, and that's my favorite title. That's why I don't watch wrestling anymore, because the real best title is now a myth. When the fuck did that happen? Someone answer me that question.
Pay-per-view, the IC title was defended at was WrestleMania last year.
Right, it's a myth.
The Nigerian drum fight between Cruz and Big E.
You would think that with, I'm not going to say his name now, but with Walter as the IC champion, they would have a big card. Like,
I don't know how I feel about him losing all that weight. I kind of miss the big fat Jack guy.
And it still could get put on the what's name. You still got like a week left. You still could get that put on the it still could get put on SummerSlam. Because this is a go home episode.
Well, they ruined the opportunity to put it on SummerSlam by having Shinsuke lose to Ludwig or whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah, that was stupid.
And then they had Gunther beat him up anyway. That was dumb.
Come on.
But that's typical WWE writing these days, and it's terrible, and it makes the show not watchable. And then people wonder why I hate on WWE. It's like, well, have you watched the product? It's crap.
That's what happens when you hire writers who have no wrestling knowledge.
Hopefully that'll change, and hopefully we'll have that title on SummerSlam now that Vince is gone.
Hey, you guys remember when wrestling only had 2 to 3 people actually writing the show, not 60 of them?
Yeah.
For those days?
2 to 3 people actually knew about, the company they was writing for.
That's a stretch with Ed Ferrara and Vince Russo, but we'll let that go. That's a little bit of a stretch with those two, but they did put out good content. I will say in their defense, but I think a lot of that is Vince approved everything they were writing. So if it hits you,
I was a WCW guy during the Monday Night Wars. WWE was what I flipped to during commercials.
Same.
Yeah, you know
I
what?
feel like early Monday Night Wars, I would agree, but I feel like once the NWO kind of got stale, I kind of started going the other way. I would say by like the end of '98, I was like, WWE's better.
I literally think like the Nitro before my senior year of high school, like the Nitro before I started my senior year of high school, I was there. It was the Berlin debut.
Yeah.
And
Isn't Berlin what's Alex?
Yeah.
Alex Wright.
And my boy recorded it, and we just watched it, and you actually can hear me saying Alex Wright as he was coming out.
So for me, do you remember the infamous promo where Shawn Michaels and DX, Shawn Michaels, Triple H are doing the barbecue after he beats? Okay, so I was watching. I remember where I was. I was actually at my grandmother's apartment in Florida with my father. We were watching that, and then my dad's like, this is ridiculous. Let's put on, where's the wrestling? So I had him put on Nitro, and we were watching a match. I forget who it was, Big Show. Big Show was the Giant, and I don't remember who he was facing. But for some reason, that was more exciting than watching Triple H and Shawn Michaels act like jackasses.
I enjoyed DX.
I think
No,
what really,
great, but
I think what hurt WCW towards the tail end of that Monday Night War was January 4th of '99, where basically Tony Schiavone gave Mick Foley all the fucking press in the world, thinking it was gonna somehow bury Mick Foley.
And the thing was that was Bischoff's call too.
Bischoff told him
to do that.
I'm not saying that's shit what I'm saying, but the fact that Tony Schiavone went along with that and did it fucking killed credibility. It was Bischoff's idea. Between Bischoff and Schiavone, it was like the stupidest thing they could have done, because everybody that was going to actually be invested in Hulk Hogan's return now shuts it off to watch Mick Foley, a deserving wrestler, win his first title. And then you see the clips of Nitro and like, oh, he poked Hogan, bigger poke Nash, and he won. Oh, I'm glad I didn't miss that. That's what happened. That's
I definitely
what happened.
I was one of those people that switched over to Raw after that moment. I went and watched Raw. I was a big Cactus Jack fan in WCW.
Me too.
Like, I loved Cactus in WCW. So I switched over because I was like, heck yeah, he deserves it. Let's watch him win.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, I was.
I'm still trying to figure out whose idea was it to decide. Oh, let's strip all the champions of their titles and let's have them all available at the following pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Oh, the new Blood Millionaire stuff. That was a terrible angle.
I'm not gonna say it was terrible. Some of the matches were terrible.
It was bad. It was not good.
That angle was not bad. It was some of the matches that was bad.
The matches were terrible, but that's what made it bad.
Sting Vampiro was a good feud.
That actually was a good feud.
Mike Awesome, Kevin Nash was not a good feud.
That was a terrible feud.
I remember Billy Kidman and Hulk Hogan was a terrible feud.
I remember
Hulk Hogan was a joke.
What versus Hulk Hogan? Nash?
Billy Kidman versus Hulk
Hogan was a joke.
Stupid. It was a great angle, and I watched it on pay-per-view. Sting versus Hogan.
Sting versus Hogan was always good.
That was the first official match between Crow Sting and Hogan. And then I think that was when Bret.
Yeah, you talking about Starrcade '97? Yeah, Starrcade '97.
That was good. That was when WCW was still, in my opinion, doing better than WWE was. This was like pre-Attitude Era, like right before it. So WCW's on the edge. It started was when they overkilled the NWO. And I was the biggest NWO guy in the world. Sam, I'm the biggest Bullet Club guy in the world. But the problem with those types of factions is they both do the same stupid thing. They use those factions as tools to get guys over. And that goes stale very quick. Yeah. They finally are going back to the roots of Bullet Club, but there's still little things about Bullet Club where it's kind of like, okay, there's too much subdivisioning there. Once like the NWO and the NW Wolfpack was a thing, they're feuding with each other, it was just like, Where are we going with this?
And didn't they do that with the horror? What is it called? The
The
horror.
House of Torture. They kind of were teasing it, but then they all chose Jay White's side, and that's what Kevin Kelly harbors about every New Japan show. And
So,
how they
like-
all chose Jay White over Tama Tonga.
My buddy on TikTok is posting interviews he did with Eric Bischoff, and something that was supposed to happen was NWO was supposed to have their own show, and
Yeah.
WCW was supposed to have their own show.
Yeah.
Right.
So they would have
Isn't
gone
that
that.
what led
it
to
would-
the match between Bischoff and Zbyszko?
The Control Nitro.
Rhett?
He didn't give details of when it was going to happen, but the plan was to like for NWO to control Nitro and for WCW to control Thunder, and they would just have separate shows.
But like, how would that work? Just like everyone inside the NWO would just fight each other?
Apparently,
Or they would
Yeah.
have like random WCW guys work NWO.
you have to go check out the interview. Hambone, HAAAAMBOOONE on TikTok.
I'll
Okay.
supposed to do it.
I do
I'll check it
want
out.
to hear that. I want to hear
I'll
that.
have to check it out.
He's got 6 parts up. He's also got an interview with Warhorse. He does a bunch of interviews.
That's
Whoa.
cool. I like Warhorse a lot.
He's going to be volunteering and working the show for Starcast.
Oh wow.
So might be more interviews.
Our friend also, Chuck, interviewed Bischoff. The Bacon is my podcast, Jimmy and Mike. Jimmy G, Craving Strange.
Right.
They also did a really, really good interview with Eric Bischoff to the point where he's like, you know, I have company over, but I'm ditching them just to hang with you guys.
That's awesome. Look at
Okay,
the
so
Craving Strange
Hambone,
guys.
this guy's name, Hambone. Does he have any other social media or just the TikTok?
I'm not sure. I just have TikTok, so I don't get into following on anything else.
So tonight this is officially going to be on later tonight, and I know you have another thing going on at 7, right?
Yep, I have a live tonight at 7 on my buddy Alltown Down 22's TikTok
Oh, okay.
page.
Oh, right on.
And are you guys going to be discussing last night, or you
We'll
guys
probably
have a specific?
We don't have a plan tonight. We're probably going to be taking questions because my wrestling opinion is going to be on there too. So we definitely like to take questions. It's one of those flow type shows tonight, not anything specific going on. We'll probably talk about Death Before Dishonor, probably talk about Vince.
Pretty much same key points we're hitting.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I've talked to MWO about Vince yet. So he wasn't on my live the other day when I went live about it. So
What's going on in wrestling this week?
it's been a very
week.
busy week.
It's been a week.
I was speechless for like 45 minutes when I saw the tweet when somebody sent
I
it
was
to me.
surprised. I didn't believe it. I thought it was fake news. I'm like, there's no way.
I saw it in our chat. You or Rod
I
posted.
think
it.
Rod posted it.
Yeah.
Or I
Oh,
posted it.
you know what? Speaking of tonight, anybody watching the Bella Bio, the Rock, Austin rivalries?
Yes, it could.
I might eventually. I haven't watched any of those. I don't have regular cable, so unless I can find a stream of it, I don't watch them.
I probably want to catch up on the evil stuff because I still haven't really watched any of that. And that's
Those
That
are
was
really
cool.
good. Those
I
are
watched
good.
all that. That was all good. Yeah, did I
um,
post it? Now I'm going back to see who posted about this. Is that me or is that Rod? That might have been Rod. I can't remember.
but for those of you who are on TikTok or curious about the wrestling side, definitely check out everything that Wrecked by Wrestling does because he's got some good content and the your lives are fun as hell.
It gets kind of hectic when I get 6 boxes going and I get a bunch of people talking, but
I know.
it's
I've
fun.
been in those. I know.
It's hard to keep up with 4 of us.
Yeah.
Right?
We talk over each other all the damn time. We're doing it right now.
Oh, we always do because we're a bunch of ADD heads. Come on, that's what our whole premise is founded on.
It gets crazy when I get 6 people in there, but it's fun and a lot of topics get covered. It's not just talking it's not just talking about certain wrestlers. We do bookings, we do top lists, we do guess the wrestlers.
That's pretty cool.
We
Though.
take questions from people in the chat, so it's that live aspect that really gets it going.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. Again, like the interaction and that's what we're trying to accomplish here. Just like getting people who love wrestling to just see what we're doing, because we're just three idiots who love talking about wrestling. That's what we are.
Well, I will once we're done with here, I'll post a video about the podcast and shoot everybody over to Spotify and YouTube is the only two I know of.
That's what we do too. We shoot over this on Spotify, YouTube.
Do we have anything else that we need to cover, guys?
We didn't really touch SummerSlam. The only thing we really touched, we started, then we kind of stopped because we, ADD train, all aboard the Attention Wrestling Disorder train. Choo choo.
Well, let's do that real quick then. We go over the matches that we know about right now.
I've got all the matches right in front of me, so I can.
I have them too.
Go.
Okay, so Riddle, Seth Rollins.
It's funny.
I'm actually excited for that match.
It should be a really good one.
And it should be a good match. It just does the match itself, it doesn't make sense why they're having it.
Because
they just had nothing to do, and
for whatever reason, Randy Orton's off TV, and they're at a point with Seth Rollins where I actually read something where Seth Rollins has the biggest loss record in WWE this year.
Yep.
And it's funny too, because everybody's like, oh, but I'm like, at the same time, it's like it really hasn't stifled him at all.
No.
But again, that proves that in WWE wins and losses don't mean shit, because if you lose that often and you're still want to look at Bray Wyatt, he lost 80% of his matches and he was never stifled.
Still kept on top. I think Riddle versus KO would have made more sense there.
I think for storytelling, yeah.
Yeah.
But I know KO was injured or something, I heard.
Yep. He is back now.
Yeah, he came back Monday.
Well, also Cody, Cody's been out too.
And he's been talking, on Twitter, he's been keeping up the rival. Seth Rollins has been keeping up the rivalry with Cody, making comments every time about Cody's tweets and whatnot. So he's
all is not bad for Cody. I mean, he did just win an ESPY for top WWE moment of the year.
I am the only person in the world that doesn't want to see another Cody Seth match. I think
I'm over them. They're good.
They had their matches. They were good matches.
But here's the thing. Here's the other problem with those matches. They wrestled 3 times. Who won all 3 matches? Cody Rhodes.
Cody.
What's going to happen next time? Cody's going to win. They
built
the value with that. It's like, if he's already won 3 times, what makes you think that Rollins is going to win the next?
Yeah.
He should have won the second one. He should have won the second match.
It should have been 2-1-1. 2-1.
Yeah.
2-1. It should have been, but that's good rivalry. But I get also it's a fresh Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
So it's I get it, but at the same time, it's I have a feeling had he not gotten injured, he probably would be Money in the Bank and not Theory.
Oh yeah, I think Theory being Mr. Money in the Bank was a last minute decision because
it had to
Cody.
Be. I mean, I like Theory a lot.
Now that Vince is gone, not a question. Theory is not.
It depends. I don't know about that.
I think this is what I think is going to happen. I think whoever wins between Roman and Brock, which will probably be Roman, Theory's cashing in on. Drew is going to beat Sheamus, and then Drew is beating Theory to become champion of Clash of the Castle.
Yeah.
You cannot have this event at Clash of the Castle and not have Drew win. That'd be the dumbest thing they could do.
I said this in my live. I said this in my live.
But the problem is with Theory, if you have him cash in like that, you have him lose a belt that quick. You just wasted so much investment on Theory.
I said this in my live.
No one was really invested in him anyway.
1 second, Rob. Rec, go ahead.
You're good. I said this in my live the other day. Theory is believable to lose a belt at any time. Him losing the U.S. title didn't impact him at all.
No.
So I don't think him losing the title to Drew is going to hurt him at all. He's still going to be if he wins the title at SummerSlam and cashes and wins the title, he's going to be the youngest U.S. champion in WWE history, the youngest Money in the Bank champion, and the youngest WWE World Heavyweight Universal whatever champion.
How old is he now? Is he what? Is he like 25?
He'll be 25, 24.
He's 24.
Yeah.
He'd
In a
be
couple
the
weeks.
same age as Orton when he won it.
But I think younger by a couple months. And plus, it's the unified WWE Universal World Heavyweight Universal.
Touche. So yeah, it'd be like a grander thing. True. Good point. Touche. Good point. And that's where Theory will be the next John Cena and Randy Orton. Everybody will be cool about it.
Yep.
Fair enough.
And I have no problem with Theory being pushed at all. I think he's a talented kid. I think he knows he's getting better on the mic. He's getting better in the ring. I have no problem him getting pushed. It made no sense how they put him in the Money in the Bank match. Right. But I don't have a problem with him having the briefcase.
I don't either. I just think it needs time. I think they should let him run with the case for a while.
But I think the possibility of Brock Lesnar being done after SummerSlam or whatever is going to play their hand. Is going to play their hand. I think no matter what, Drew is winning the title at Clash at the Castle.
About damn time. Because Drew was the champion when there were no fans.
He was a great champion.
He was an underwhelming champion, unfortunately. It wasn't his fault, it was just circumstances.
Yeah, the circumstances.
His whole run was very underwhelming because he had no one to support him. You didn't have a crowd to feed off him. You fed off your own fucking intuition.
Yeah.
And that's it's still cool that he's talented enough.
Yeah, and in the Thunderdome too.
Yeah.
That Thunderdome was such bullshit.
It was.
I did a couple.
I was just happy to be able to have wrestling. That's all that mattered to me. I still watched it because it was wrestling, but it wasn't the same.
Before we go to the next match, I will say I have a feeling with Lashley and Theory. I don't think Theory's going to win that. And I don't think it's going to matter anymore.
No, he ain't.
No.
He ain't.
There's no way that Theory's going to beat Lashley for that belt.
Because before we go to the next match, I will say this: if the US IC champion remain the same till Survivor Series and they do that same format, Lashley versus Walter, it's going to be a great match. That's going to be a great match.
If they keep that, yeah.
That would be a hell of a match. WWE is smart. That is the match they have for Survivor Series.
Yeah.
That would be a good match.
I think the best two people to have the US and IC titles right now have them. I think Walter and Bobby Lashley having those belts are the best two possible people to have them.
For the current state of WWE, I guess I can agree with that. I was a pig in shit when Ricochet and Finn Balor had them respectively, but sucked because they didn't do shit with them.
I knew they wouldn't have done anything with Ricochet. That's why I didn't get excited when he had the IC title.
I was happy
he was defending it. He defended it more times than the last two champions he had before.
Yeah, he did. But I just knew WWE Vince didn't see him in the way that he should be used.
Vince doesn't see anybody in the way that true fans see wrestlers. I finally think they're finally starting to see Balor in that light, even though they're making Priest more of the lead of the two. They're finally giving I think Balor is finally getting good due diligence.
Balor should be the leader based on his leadership skills and Bullet
I agree. But
according to Vince, that never happened.
Yeah.
But according to Vince doesn't know anything outside of his own company. So Vince McMahon doesn't believe that Bullet Club's real. I watched the CM Punk I watched the CM Punk documentary when that one came out, and then when he first started healing, it looks like he was starting to go back to his Ring of Honor character when he was a heel. I'm like, oh, clearly someone was watching some Ring of Honor to get the character. I found out later that it wasn't the case. Vince literally went to Punk do you think you could be a bad guy and be a heel? And Punk's
I remember that, yeah.
Did you watch my Ring of Honor stuff? Did you watch anything I've ever done prior to me signing here? I made a career off that kind of thing.
I love Punk's run and Straight Edge Society.
That was a great run.
I absolutely love it. Next match is Bianca versus Becky.
Bianca needs to win in the discussion.
Yeah.
Becky does not need the title on her again.
Last year.
I think this is where Rhea returns. Or Bayley.
Is Rhea even clear? Because she was on that heart monitor, so.
Yeah, I haven't heard. But I feel that the original plan was to give Rhea the belt at the last pay-per-view, and then her getting hurt kind of put a damper on that.
Yeah.
That's why they're because again,
or what would have happened was Bianca would have won at Money in Bank, and then they would have had the rematch, and Rhea would have won at SummerSlam.
probably.
Yeah. But Bianca needs to go over. Bianca
Rhea
100.
needs to be the one to beat Bianca.
Champion.
I can agree with that. Rhea needs to be the one to beat Bianca. It's the only sensible person at this point for her to beat the title, because then it gives the Judgment Day faction a little credibility, because they're not going to like put a belt behind it gives them more credibility. It's like I feel like when you have a faction, don't be the way they do factions. If none of your guys have belts, there's no credibility. That's why
there's no point to them.
Right. That's why Retribution was a shit faction. They made them they made them look badass. Then
that time when the Fiend took all of them out, that was it. That ended. That ruined their credibility.
It made them look like shit, and then like they just
never recovered.
So Bailey is scheduled to return at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
and she is currently a free agent right now too.
Is she going to go after Bianca or Liv, or is she coming back as a face?
That's
you know what's funny? I could see her bringing her back as a face just because she's been gone for so long that it's like the same character, but the fans will appreciate her because like she's going through an injury kind of thing. Because they do that with a lot of time. I mean, eventually she'll be heel again, but I think for a short time they'll bring her back as face.
As long as it's not the happy ponytail Bailey, as long as it's this version of Bailey.
I love
her hair still
I love
short,
Hugger.
So that's not happening.
I would love the Hugger Bailey to come back. That's Rod's favorite wrestler. There's an actual video of Rod crying on the internet when Bailey turned.
Oh my god, you're such a degenerate.
It's true.
I've seen it.
No, it ain't.
I seen the video. There's an actual video of Rod. Like I was crying like a little kid because his spirit was broken because his favorite Bailey turned on the fans and cut up the Bailey.
You are a degenerate. Just a degenerate. That's what
Liv versus Ronda.
We all know Liv needs to win that match, but you know Ronda's going to win because
she's not going to win that match, Chuck. Liv just got the belt.
Unless they do somebody like interferes and takes Ronda out, Liv ain't beating Ronda. Let's just face facts here.
Liv needs to beat Ronda.
She needs to, but
Liv needs to win. I'm saying I want Liv to win. Liv needs to win, but I can see WWE doing the stupid thing where they somehow have Ronda leave with the belt.
But it was
Vince. How do you know they're gonna not change that with him gone?
Why do
they dug themselves into so many holes already that they need to do certain things to dig themselves out of the hole?
This is my thing. People need to stop with this. Just because he is gone doesn't mean changes are going to happen like a snap of the finger overnight.
Yeah, it's going to take a while.
That's what I'm saying. They've already dug themselves into these corners with some of these bad angles that they have to play them out in order to tweak and get them going to better things.
Like I told Chuck and Jay yesterday, we was discussing this. What they should have done was they should have had Natty cheat, beat Liv when that championship contenders match and put Natty in this match, made a triple threat. So Liv pins Natty and you still protect Ronda.
Yep.
That's what they should have done. The same way they protected Ronda when Becky Lynch won it.
Yeah.
It is reported that Ronda's the one that made the call about Liv cashing in on him.
No, it is. That's true. That's true.
That's awesome.
Maybe Liv, like Ronda might put Liv over.
Let's hope.
Maybe
we can hope.
Maybe a quick roll up or something.
I wanted to see Liv turn kind of heelish and start training with Shayna Baszler to take on Ronda. I thought that would have been a cool storyline. That she's cool. Willing to.
Yeah, it would have been cool, but I feel like they're so invested in her as a babyface. The whole underdog story. They love their underdog stories.
She didn't even have to be a heel, just to the point, I will do whatever it takes to beat Ronda Rousey, even if it means training with this horrible person.
We should have had Ronda versus Shayna at SummerSlam, to be honest, because that's a match that people want to see.
Right.
Yeah, but the main roster is treating Shayna like trash.
Yeah, they hate the fact she has no charisma. That's why they don't like Shayna. And that's
Shayna Baszler.
She was a
Shayna
beast in
Baszler is my
NXT.
favorite. Shayna Baszler is my favorite NXT Women's Champion.
She was
Mine
a
too,
beast.
probably mine too.
Honorable, man.
She did so good.
It's not
Usos
good.
Street Profits with Jeff Jarrett.
I feel like this is where the Usos are finally gonna lose those belts.
I don't think they are. I don't
I
think so.
think this is where finally it happens.
I think this is where the Street Profits are going to break up. Actually,
I don't want the Street Profits to break up.
I don't either. But
so much chicken, period.
I just feel like
Oh my
they're
God.
so high on Montez Ford and they don't give two shits about Angelo Dawkins. That's the problem. No, I agree. I know, but like my problem is with it. I feel like
chicken.
Like Montez Ford like got jacked all of a sudden, and now it's like, oh, we love Montez Ford, and Angelo Dawkins is still kind of chunky and out of shape-ish, and they're like, what'll happen?
If they break them up and turn someone, I want them to turn Montez on Angelo.
You'd rather Montez go heel?
Yep.
I would too, but I have a feeling they'd go the other way with it.
You can see
I do too.
Montez.
I would actually rather see Montez go heel and be a singles. I feel like they're getting ready to push him as singles. It's I know it's a rumor mill, but I feel like it's getting close. I feel like I like the Street Profits, but I feel like it's run its course.
No, I hope not, because there's already rumors of them breaking up Mysterios up. Do you really need to be breaking up two tag teams?
But again, this goes back to our earlier discussion, Rod, about how WWE doesn't give two shits about tag teams on either end, men or women. They don't care. That's why the Usos have held the tag titles for as long as they have, because there's no one else to beat them.
In the 80s, tag teams were a thing for WWE, but it seemed like later on that they stopped
Tag
giving.
teams are flash in the pan. That's a thing of the past.
Vince didn't like tag team wrestling, so
because he saw the better money with the singles, and it all comes down to the money.
It's easier to market one person than two.
Well, that's it.
Last night proved that tag team wrestling is not dead, but just it's dead in WWE.
Yeah.
Oh, that main event was just epic. And now that the Briscoes are officially signed now.
Yep.
I want to see what they do with them. Are they going to come into AEW too, or are they going to just stick with Ring of Honor? That's what I'm curious about.
From what I heard, it's just a Ring of Honor contract.
Okay. I don't see them going any other company. I know they have their short run with TNA there, Impact.
They had a short run with GCW.
Yeah.
NWA too. They did win the Crockett Cup.
They were in NWA.
Right.
But I feel like aside from the Ring of Honor run, that little hiatus, the only time they did anything else in their whole careers. They did have a trial with WWE, but apparently WWE didn't think they were cosmetically pleasing, so they didn't sign them.
They just didn't like the fact that they themselves the Briscoes.
That could be part of it too, but that's their real names,
right?
You can't fault somebody for having
the
real
same
names.
company that tried to
that's not their real
name. The court over her real name.
That's not their real name. That's not their real names. I googled it.
Pugh is P-U-G-H.
Yeah, Pugh is their real name. Not
is it Pugh? Whatever. You know, it's going to be an entertaining match, if anything else.
What?
Logan Paul and The Miz. I don't care. I love for an entertainment level. I love The Miz. The Miz outside of Randy Orton is like my favorite WWE tailored wrestler in the last 20 years. I love The Miz. He is fucking fantastic. Like he just always.
I love The Miz, but I have a personal issue with Logan Paul. Okay. So anytime he's on my TV when I'm watching WWE, I turn my TV off.
I respect it.
Like I just don't want to see him on my TV.
I'm not gonna
bash him. I'm not gonna hate on him. I'm not gonna talk trash. I just turn the TV off, and then I have my live chat tell me when I can turn it back on.
Yeah,
that sounds like a good idea.
Did do that. Logan Paul did something really fucked up on his YouTube page, and that's all I'm gonna say. And I remember it, and all of a sudden, it's like people forgot about it.
That's all I have to say about Logan Paul. Y'all can converse about him all you want. I'm just not going to say anymore.
I don't
know that much to tell about that match.
Well, let's just face facts. He's beating The Miz at SummerSlam. There's no ifs, ands, buts about he's winning. Because celebrities
The Miz-
9.5 times out of 10 win these type of matches. So
The Miz is very good at putting people over.
He is.
The Miz is like the best at putting people over. Him and Dolph Ziggler are like the best two at putting people over.
Bad Bunny deserved that win at WrestleMania against The Miz, though.
As a wrestler,
Even though you was hating on him for like how long?
Bad Bunny's music is trash, but I think as a talent, he had a good run. He had good matches. I was impressed.
I didn't know who Bad Bunny was until he showed up on my TV for wrestling. I had no clue who he was.
He's like a reggaeton, like Spanish artist.
Yeah, he's very he's very
Like
popular
his songs,
too.
he has like 2 songs in English, and that's it.
That's cool. That's just not my genre of music, so I just didn't pay any attention to it. I didn't know.
It's not mine either. I think half the reason why I know about Bad Bunny is partially because of my girlfriend. She listens to some of that stuff, and then I work in my job. I work with a lot of women who are Spanish, so they're very into that Bad Bunny thing. So like I get it from that. But other than that, I not into Bad Bunny like that at all.
The match I'm actually excited for is Pat McAfee and Baron Corbin.
That's going to be good, yeah.
Actually,
McAfee wrestle.
I gotta say, with this like miserable Corbin, the happy Corbin, like they've gotten Baron Corbin's one of those guys I've never really liked him, but I'm starting to like come around to him now.
Baron Corbin has been given trash gimmicks and made them work.
Yeah, because Baron Corbin's one of those guys you could tell that WWE has a lot of high hopes for. Love him or hate him, but WWE behind the scenes, they have a lot of hope for him.
Well, he's good in the ring. He's safe. He's very safe.
That's what they say.
And like he does whatever they want. Like he let them cover him in dog food for multiple times.
Right. He's a company guy. He'll do whatever they need. They'll make him. He looked like a disheveled fucking homeless guy because that's what the gimmick called for, and he made it work.
He's the one who got the opportunity to end the career of Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Even though that's not what Kurt wanted, he still ran with it.
Like
that was at the time, that was their guy that they wanted to start pushing, and Corbin was like, "What am I going to do? Say no to this?"
Yeah. So we've already talked about Lashley and Theory. I think Dolph Ziggler is going to cost Theory that match, honestly.
Probably. Now that Dolph's a face again. I wonder what they're going to do with Robert Roode now that they kind of turned Ziggler face.
Probably go back to NXT. That'd probably be the best place for him.
Yeah, I feel like
I can see it. You know who I heard recently went back down to NXT now?
Who that?
Kamina Aziz. He's now Cora Jay's bodyguard.
Well, Apollo Crews is down there too.
Yeah, we haven't seen him on there yet, but I did read something about him.
Yeah, at the Coco show yesterday, he came out with Cora Jade. Man, I'm pissed, man. I wanted to hear like The Rock's daughter's promos, but she wasn't at the show I was at. She had the show yesterday.
What name is she going under?
Naya Rivera or something like that.
Like Ava Rain or something like that.
Ava Rain. Yeah,
I think it's Ava Rain. She calls herself the final girl or something like that. Like as in, like horror movies, the last girl who survives, the final girl.
Oh,
yeah.
Here, see that.
All right.
And maybe with the way I know like they're really trying to bring NXT back to that OVW format, but we'll see. Maybe it'll get better again. We'll see with the change of direction.
Isn't OVW getting a TV deal or something?
I think they're on Netflix or something.
That's what I heard. Someone said that.
I might have posted in the chat. OVW to get a Netflix deal.
OVW's getting Netflix. Are they still partnered with Impact, or is that like a thing of the past too?
No, that's a thing of the past.
No, it still owns OVW, right?
Yeah.
I thought I still owned it.
Right, I just said that. He does.
Oh, I heard you wrong. Okay, I thought you said somebody else. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I heard you wrong. My bad. Forgive me.
I was distracted. I'm sorry.
That's nothing unusual in this podcast.
Not at all.
Last match: Roman versus Brock.
Who cares?
Roman's winning.
Theory.
Theory's winning. I like that
Theory's
one better.
winning. So here's my plan. Here's what I think should happen. So I think that they should have their last man standing match and they should beat the trash out of each other. And like at some point something happens till they're both down. Referee starts counting. Theory cashes in at 9. Referee hits 10, Theory wins, never has to lay a hand on him.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be different. I like it.
That's the most logical way to put Theory over with that briefcase.
Yeah.
I never even thought about that. That's a really good idea. I didn't even think about that.
But
Oh, you
wouldn't
should-
they have to hold the count to do that?
No.
I mean, history shows that it just picks up right where it continues when you cash in.
Yeah.
Because
So
the
it-
wrestler does this whole thing like where he pretends he doesn't know what's going on and you know, instead of automatically putting the case, giving the case.
So what I can see happening is they're probably going to have Lashley Theory open SummerSlam
Yep.
Yeah, that makes
to
sense.
give Theory ample time to recover because Lashley's whooping that ass. To give Theory as much time to recover as he needs before he cashes
So
in.
basically, we're getting a repeat of Money in the Bank. Got it.
Or hear me out. They open with the last man standing match. Brock doesn't work by the hour.
You got a point. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time he was in the opening match at a big floor pay-per-view. Wouldn't be
Yeah,
the first
Brock
time.
doesn't. Brock doesn't work by the hour, and he's going to want to get out of there if this is the end of his
I can
contract.
see that. I can honestly.
He's not
see
going to
that.
want to stick around all night.
I can see that.
He's gonna be like, I'm done with this. I'm going home.
I mean, that's,
Yep.
We're
that's
going to my
why
farm
him
and
and
be
Rollins
done.
was the opening match at WrestleMania 35 because he pulled that
Yep.
stunt.
But would it? But wouldn't that kill everything if Theory cashes in the opening match?
You think Brock cares? Brock just cares about his payday.
Yeah, Brock just pin me, pay me.
So then, what does that U.S. title match turn into if Theory
It
is
turns
the
into what it was supposed to be to begin with, and no one bats an eye. Theory's gonna be the next guy that no one bats an eye about when he loses.
or Lashley could beat him for the heavyweight title?
Lashley beats him, and then at some point, Lashley gets a shot at his deserved rematch that he never got for the for the WWE Universal Championship.
Turn Drew heel after Clash of the Castle. Give a push to Bobby Lashley and go back to Bobby versus Drew.
That could be good.
Heel Drew face Bobby.
That would be interesting. That'd be a role reversal. Yeah, it'd be good.
That's like right now. Lashley, his second reign as U.S. champion. Oh, he was a beast. He was a beast.
I loved Lashley as champion. I loved Lashley as champion.
Lashley was a good champ. He was a good champ. He actually
And I
did a good
loved-
job with it.
And I loved the Hurt Business. And I was so
That was
pissed
a
off
good faction.
when they were like, no more.
Good old Vince.
Mistake to break them up.
Yeah, well, good old Vince.
Oh yeah, good old
A
Vince.
lot of people
Again,
try to
leave it
tell
to an
him
old
to not
out-of-touch
break them
man to make
up,
decisions.
but you know,
That's what happens when you let the old out-of-touch man make decisions.
Yep.
And when you let your pet dog fucking make the other decisions, and then he approves everything.
because you know his
This
yes
Bruce
man.
Pritchard
No
is
matter how
Vince
stupid
fucking
the idea
lapdog.
is, no matter how stupid the idea is, his yes man, Pritchard and Dunn is always gonna say yes to it.
Expect big announcements tomorrow and the coming week from WWE.
I'm sure.
Just big announcements.
I can see it.
I've already heard
You
rumors.
already know they're gonna acknowledge it on Raw about it because like
I think they're going to have a promo package for Vince set up for Raw.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt in my mind.
you know what wouldn't surprise me if freaking Vince is like the class headliner for the Hall of Fame next year.
You know what's going to happen? You know what I'm calling now? Triple H is going to kick off Raw.
That would be sweet.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And then that's where they're going to do it.
And then Nick Khan comes out and super kicks him.
And tell everybody
this is
Raw.
my company.
And
This is my
and tell
company.
everybody
It's really
that
gonna be the
Raw's
Raw's
getting an
5
extra
hours long.
hour.
It's going to
No,
start
Nick
at
Khan's
7. It's going to go
gonna
at midnight.
Nick Khan's going to show up on NXT and pin Braun Breaker and become the new NXT champion, and then wear a muscle suit and like
Wear a
Vince did.
do-rag. He's going to wear the do-rag.
Do-rag Vince.
He's going to, Nick Khan, he's going to shave his head. He's going to do the do-rag.
Do-rag Vince. Do-rag Nick Khan.
I miss do-rag Vince. It was funny.
Oh, Vince McMahon. Like I said it, like, thank you, Vince, for everything that you did for my
Exactly.
childhood. Like my life wouldn't be what it would be right now if it wasn't for Vince McMahon.
I'm not wearing a WrestleMania 6 shirt or anything.
I'm sorry, Atticus. I tend to wear Atticus.
That's your guy, though.
Yeah.
I'm
gotta wear
wearing
your
my
guy, you gotta sport.
the sleep wrestling shirt.
Happens over here showing the Sesame Street shirt. So
That's what's up, though.
Hey, don't know that. Eat, sleep, wrestle.
But
That's what I do at life with. I watch Impact, except that eat, sleep, keep
wrestling.
Impact on, wrestle.
eat, sleep, be a degenerate.
We are team degenerates,
Yeah, we
Chuck
are.
and
Even though I'm not really a degenerate, I don't know what Rod's talking about.
Yeah, okay.
Rod, you're just upset because you know that my wrestling taste is way smarter than yours.
What?
That's right, you heard me.
So I think
Yeah, that'd be one of the. That's definitely a lie, but okay.
I actually want to stop because I have to. My kid tried to call me like 3 times already.
All right,
So
we can put a pin. I think we hit the key points.
Yeah.
We'll definitely have this up later tonight. Remember,
Yeah.
guys, we got Wrecked by Wrestling in the room. We're gonna post his information
You
on the
too.
episode, so you can find him on TikTok and check out his stuff. Very funny, compelling
appreciate-
stuff.
I appreciate you guys coming in and letting me come in and hang out.
Oh, anytime, man. We'll have you back
yeah.
too. Give
Awesome,
it time.
man.
We're gonna have you back too. Don't even worry.
One of
All right,
my
man.
favorite like wrestling TikTokers, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
So
I appreciate that.
stop by at 7:00 on All Towns Live. See what you guys are doing.
Yep.
I'll have to up my
We'll be hanging
TikTok
out.
game and get my followers up so I can partake in these.
Yeah,
All right, brother.
I just downloaded the app now, so I think I might actually join.
Yeah.
Right
Just
on.
convince Rod to make a TikTok.
Look me up. It's at Wrecked by Wrestling.
Gotcha.
By wrestling. Yeah, have Rod dress up like Mr. Main Event on a
Oh,
TikTok.
Jesus Christ.
Mr. Main Event.
Oh my God. I don't know if we have time to talk about that
Oh
one.
my God.
We'll save that for another
Better than
episode.
looking on TikTok, seeing you and your tiny whitey. So,
That happened.
Mr. Shitstain.
All right, guys. I appreciate it.
Anytime, man.
Hey,
Thanks for having me. All right.
no problem.
All right, guys.
Yep.
As always, I am Chuck.
RJ Show.
The Hot Rod 521.
Thank you for listening to Attention Wrestling Disorder. This show is just too sweet.
Boom.